Hey Zane, how's it going? Let me just adjust myself here. Hey man, sorry I didn't get back to you till just now. I was away for the Memorial Day weekend, which we had here. It was a holiday weekend in the USA, so I went away for a little family reunion deal. Um, I was taking a look at your shot. It looks fantastic. It looks better every week that I see it. Um, oh, if this looks weird at all, I captured it out of the AM site and just so I could trim out the reference at the end and just look at the animation.
Free me, right? To bring this travesty to a close because you know I'm innocent. You are here to free me, right?
How do we get these controls out of here? Sorry, I just upgraded to Snow Leopard and I'm trying to sort this out. Can we loop this? Let's see, what's loop? Should just be loop.
To bring this travesty to a close because you know I'm innocent. You are here to free me, right? To bring this travesty to a close because you know I'm innocent.
Alright, something definitely happened here in this blind pass.
Travesty to a close because you know I'm innocent.
Which happens sometimes. Let's see if I can explain it. So it looks very, and I know this is just the first pass, but it looks very, what's the word I'm looking for? Well, what typically happens, and I'm certainly used to people talking about it, mentors talking about it, is when you go from blocking to your spline pass, you lose a lot of the feel that you had in your blocking. So you had a lot of great feel in your blocking, the beats and everything were there, and now everything just kind of looks sort of, I guess pose to pose is what I'm looking for.
To bring this travesty to a close
Pose,
because
pose,
you know I'm
pose.
innocent. You are here to free me, right? To bring this travesty to a
Pose.
close because
Things just kind of snap into place. You know, like, you're here to free me, right? To bring this travesty. Everything is just, you know, which is first spline, right? You're just splining from one pose to the next. So I'm assuming everything is still on the same keyframe, which is kind of what's giving it that feel. It's funny because I'm trying to think of how how I did this stuff, but I think what you might want to try to do as you move into your second pass, and you may be planning on doing this anyway, is now might be a good time to start tearing apart your splines, you know, and offsetting them or having some hit late. Now's the time to get in there and tear things up because you want to take what you have now and give it the feeling that you had in your blocking, but in splines, you know. So things are going to be, you know, the root might go up first, and then the splines break. Let's just look at something. Oh, man. Oh, I can. Oh, I'm sorry. This is just weird how this controls just kind of float like that. Let's do this. Let's go back to the old version that I can use. Okay.
You are here to free me, right?
So that, just the way he pulls his head back like that, it just, right? It just kind of locks, right? And I'm not sure how I can explain how that should be done otherwise.
You are here to free me, right?
And it's also kind of weird because he starts back and then he goes in and he comes back again.
You are here to free me, right?
Well, I guess that makes sense.
You are here to free me, right? To bring this Travis.
Good blinks in here. That, oh crap. Darn you, QuickTime.
You are here to free me, right?
Right there. That's good stuff. All those blinks. He really seems like he's thinking. You got like kind of half blinks in there too. Do you? Yeah, like right there. That's kind of weird. I mean, it works. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, just the way he's looking around and then blinking, you really nailed that really well.
To bring this
It's really
Travis
awesome.
to a close because
It's just like right there, that's a good example of what I'm talking about. He just kind of pops into that pose. Let's look at it frame by frame, see if we can't come up with what's going on. You know, I think what does it for me is that he kind of, it's almost like this anticipation. See how he goes down so much, and then he goes up and hits that pose. It's like, it's kind of like a big, it's almost like he's lifting something. You know, he's kind of like, okay, I'm going to get ready, I'm going to situate my feet, and my butt's going to go down, and then it's going to go up, and maybe it's because it locks. Maybe that's what's throwing me. Maybe if it had a little bit of movement, because the butt is locking right there. And again, that's just probably first pass. It's just he hits really hard up into that pose. It almost looks like he's lifting something. You know, like that would be the type of animation you would do on everything from his waist down if he was lifting something heavy, and he's not. He's just kind of gesturing or making a, you know, hitting a pose, and it just seems like he's just really hitting it, and then he stops. His butt just stops, and I think that's what's doing it for me. I mean, there's some keep alive in the hands and stuff, but the butt just goes up and hits pretty violently. You know, there's a lot of big spacing in there. It just stops, boom, dead. And again, that's probably just first pass. But I'm just, you know, just giving you my thoughts. But then how does he... It's weird because then when he goes to sit, he just goes down. There's no anticipation for the sit. I mean, he's got this big anticipation. Boom, hit the pose. And then when he goes down, he just kind of drops. You know, he sinks down. So you might want to have him anticipate up and then go down, or maybe readjust his feet, or just kind of, where am I at? Oh, okay, there I am. On that sit, and definitely watch your spacing on the hips when he hits that pose, because it's just so, you know, just kind of, it's pretty violent how he hits that pose. And then the other thing that I saw, and this is just in the feel of it now, is I think he comes up too early. Like there's something that's different. Something is lost from the blocking into here. Let's look at this real time, and let's actually loop that section. Huh? That's what you can do with this QuickTime Pro stuff. I can't remember what the hotkey is for that. I think it's just a loop. No, something else. Play selection only. That's what I want. T. Okay, let's see if that worked.
you know I'm innocent. You know I'm innocent.
Let's go back a little bit.
You know I'm innocent. You know I'm innocent. You know I'm innocent.
Yeah, he's
You know I'm innocent.
I feel like he's popping his head up too quick. Like that's really fast. He just turns. He goes, you know I'm innocent, you know, or you know I'm innocent. You know, it's almost like, you know I'm innocent. Like just that whole expression was sort of lost, and it's very pose. So give him some, you know. Maybe, you know, a nice slow action of drag the head, come up, settle. You know I'm innocent. You know I'm innocent. You know, so he's gonna kind of drag the head up and settle it, and then maybe gesture or something, or some sort of head turn. You know I'm innocent. But just slow that head. And it doesn't have to be big. Now don't go, you know, don't do that. Just you know, when you go into your polish, your second pass or whatever, just give it a little weight, like he's just like defeated, like, you know I'm innocent. You know, and that's a good spot for some head turn, you know, some head nod or whatever. What do they call that? My brain is mush right now. You know, you could do like, you know I'm innocent, or you know I'm innocent. You know, that's a good spot for some, you know, angle the head a little bit, really give him that human flair. But those are the things that I saw just looking at it real quickly that threw me.
You know I'm innocent.
That's just too fast. But I mean, those are super easy fixes too. You know, I mean, it's just timing adjustments and watching the spacing on the hips there. And then once you start tearing into it and you know, splitting your splines up so they're not all hitting on the same frame, it'll start to really come alive as well. So you mentioned hand poses. Now I'm not sure if you meant your hand pose assignments that you turn in, or the hand poses in the shot. I think you meant the hand poses in this shot. So let's look at the whole shot. See if anything jumps out on me. Honestly, I didn't even notice the. I didn't even notice the hands at all, really, because I just saw those other things. I just felt like it didn't have the beats or the emotion. You might want to put this up, like put up two windows side by side. You're blocking, and then this, and then see where the see the feeling of both. And see if you can try to get the spline version to still have the feeling of the blocked version. You know what I'm saying? Like you'll see how, you know, with the blocking, he might hold that pose longer and then go, you know I'm innocent. And then when you translate those splines in, then that hold, rather than a step hold, and then up to this, you know, it's filled with animation now, and so it loses that hold. You know what I'm saying? So the trick is now going to be to go find how to get the splines to have the same feel as the blocking. So you might want to put them up side by side and take a look at it.
You are here to free me, right? To bring this travesty to a close, because you know I'm innocent. You are here to free me, right? To bring this travesty to a close, because you know I'm innocent. You are here to free me, right? To bring this travesty to a close, because you know I'm innocent. You are here to free me.
Okay, well, I see a couple, there's mainly only a couple, darn it, QuickTime. Sorry. Okay, I see a couple spots where there basically are hand poses, right? You don't have any hands here. It's just really like there, right? And then there, and then there. There's really 3 spots with hand poses in it. Let's see if we can't sort of work them out. So in through here, you might want to just work on just how can you get that to be as clear as possible. And you know, just think about what it would be like if you were bound at the hand. You know, like you could do this. You know, like you could have, because your hands are bound, that might be relaxing to kind of enclose one and another one. So maybe like through here in this area, where he's just kind of walking around talking. You know, if your hands are bound, you're probably not going to walk around like this all the time, because that's kind of, it takes energy to kind of keep your hands splayed like that, right? So you might kind of, it might be more relaxing to do this. So maybe when you're walking around, maybe you have like, your hands are like this, you know? Bring this travesty to a close, because, you know, so you might want to have the hands just like that. And this area here is a great place to have that hand pose. And that hand pose might be a little clearer, you know. You know, you have to kind of figure out how that's going to work. But that makes sense to me. If your hands are bound, it's like, hey, I'm here. I might as well relax. You know, I'm not going to be walking around like, I'm bound. See, I'm bound. You know, so that might be an idea of something that you can try.
To bring this truck.
And then so here, obviously, you're hitting a pose, so you're going to want to do that. You're going to want to show. That's your spot to show. See, travesty. This equals travesty. This is almost like the bound hand equivalent of the W pose. You know, just like, huh? You know, but that's okay. That's a little strange to me. Okay, one is the far one is like that, and this one, to bring this travesty to a close. Because that's where I would almost be, that's the pose where you're going to be like really, see? You know, you're going to have some weird, huh? Huh? Travesty? Hello? So you might want to, that's the pose where I would think you would have fingers splayed, and you know, you don't need to do any, you know, Shakespearean. That just, there's something about that that's strange, because it's almost like he's doing this. It's almost like he's slapping the back of one hand into another, you know, because it's just kind of like one hand is like this and the other hand is like this. And I would think that it would almost be better if they were closer. You know, if the hand part were facing each other, to bring this travesty to a close. You know, and you can splay the fingers, or you know, do some weird cocked fingers like this, you know. See, travesty, you know, and maybe, you know, bring them apart. Hello, you know, that sort of a thing. Because that's your main gesture, to bring this travesty to, see, just in doing it, it's like, huh? Because you really want to show the travesty. So I would really hit that with some sort of one like this, you know, which is really like, huh? Do you see the travesty here? Hello. How can you not see the travesty that is happening? You know, so I would recommend something like that instead of like this, because this almost looked like, it's a travesty, huh? You're like a travesty. The travesty is good, you know. So yeah.
To a close because.
Okay, to close, because there again, you know, I kind of see this. You know, because he's kind of in this quieter, to bring this, he's come together, and you can't really see what I'm doing here. you know, he's back to that sort of a thing. And again, just seems relaxing to me. If you're gonna, you know, if your hands are together, maybe you'd be like this at some point. Maybe this is kind of a time where he can go, you know, to bring this travesty to kind of like he's praying almost, you know. His hands are, you know, he's trying to, you know, be calm. You know, you could be Buddhist or whatever. You can, you know, just the hands are kind of together, like this. You know, that would be a different variation of this. You know, again, it's kind of relaxing. It's kind of, you know, and this is, to me, this is more thought provoking than this. This is kind of like I'm just sitting here bored out of my mind, relaxing, right? But this is kind of has almost like an element of hope or intellectualism or some sort of thought, you know. So he could have this down, you know, to bring this travesty to a close, because, you know, so you might want to try something like that there. I like that too. I like how he goes into a fist, because it's like, you know, if I could just break these shackles, you know. So let's go back a little ways. Okay, that wasn't far enough.
To a close because you know I'm innocent.
Oh, poopy doop. To bring this travesty to a close because you know I'm okay. All right. Let me just shut-gate that. All right. Because
You know I'm innocent.
no, that's good. You got a little thumb thing going on in there. I'm not sure what's happening there. Right there. From 180 to 187 or something like that. The thumb just kind of pops out. I'm not sure what's going on there. And also, this silhouette is a little weird there.
You know I'm innocent.
I think that's a good, god darn it. I think this hand here, I don't know, you probably can't see my mouse pointer here. Oh, I can't draw on this. Oh no. Okay. Darn it. I just can't draw on it if I'm captured it with QuickTime. Alright, so the hand that goes like this, that's good. The forehand is a little weird, but the backhand is good. You know I'm innocent. You know, maybe you do something like that, where the forehand goes down, like you're serving it up, and this hand is saying, you know I'm innocent. You know, it's like, you know I'm innocent. Something like that. Let's watch it again.
You are here to free me, right? To bring this travesty to a close because you know I'm innocent. You are here to free me, right? To bring this travesty to a close because you know I'm...
Okay. You probably don't have room in there for this one, although I like that one. Because you only kind of have, okay, I would do like this when you're walking around, and then when you hit the travesty, you open up big and you splay the fingers, and then I like what you have now with the anger. He comes down and he comes down with clenched fist, but then when he has that, I think there's a breath in there. Then he kind of clenches harder, you know. So maybe he comes down with semi-loose fists, and then he does something like that, you know. And he clenches him up harder, and then he goes, you know I'm innocent. He one hand goes the wrist with the back of the hand faces down. The other one has that perfect hand pose you have now. You know I'm innocent. He offers it up to you, right? One hand is down, offering. The other hand is saying, is presenting it. Ta-da! You know, so you're really close. I would just bring that forehand down to offer and show us the palm, and then I really like what you have here. You might want to work on your silhouettes a little bit, but I think what you have there is really great. And then there, I would have the palms face each other and really, you know, splay those fingers out. And then here, I would have the hands just relaxed, like so.
To bring this travesty to a close, because...
And then I'm not sure how much you've worked on. I mean, you've obviously done some jaw working. It still doesn't look like it's on time or anything like that. I'm sure you probably haven't even touched it yet. You know what I did. The first pass that I did with lip sync was Bishop has a face or a mouth shape library. I don't know if you've seen that yet, but you can actually kind of click on a phenome, and the shape is sort of already pre-built. And that got me like 95% there. I thought that was the only time in animation I thought I was cheating, because that worked so well. So you might want to try that. I don't know if your mentor wants you to start that yet. You might want to work on the jaw flap a little bit more, really nail when he has the mouth open, you know, by doing this trick, you know, where your hand is underneath and you see when the hand moves and when it doesn't. You've kind of done that already. It just doesn't look...
To bring this travesty to a close, because you know I'm innocent.
Well, maybe once you start to get the shapes, the mouth shapes in there, you might want to do that. You might want to just take, probably take you 20 minutes at the most. Just go in there and just rough drop in phenome shapes, yeah, just the major ones. Don't worry about hitting everything. You know, just do a rough pass just so things are dialed in. And then you'll start to see how it totally starts to come alive with the face, the mouth stuff. All right, I think that's all I have to say. My main note is really try to get the spline to have the same feel as the blocking. And again, it's probably just because the steps hit, you know, where you go from frame 30 to 40, and then at 41 it changes to the next pose. Now you're animating from 30 to 40. So it's almost like you got to figure out, okay, well, I want to hold the pose at 30 until 40 and then animate in, or maybe I want to hold that pose till 37 and then start the animation in, so that I have more, you know, because before you had from 30 to 40 as that hold, and now you're starting animating at 30, and it's you know, it's that sort of a deal. So really try to get that feel that you had from your blocking into your first pass. And that's really what I would be concerned with. And then your hand poses, you're really close right now. I would just, again, make it try to feel a little bit more natural when he's walking around. Really sell the travesty, and then offer up your innocence. Okay? That's it. Otherwise, it's looking good. So can't wait to see what else you come up with. Let me know if you have any questions. And keep at it. Good work. Excellent.